Hi foodies, I made some sweet chili ginger chicken, really delicious. Everything straight in the oven. It has a beautiful glaze and it's super tender. Let's get into it. So what we'll do is make the marinade. Really simple. There's garlic, ginger, and some minced scallion. So we're gonna put that in there. Fresh ingredients, really nice. And then we'll go in with some soy sauce to give us a little saltiness, a little more darkness as far as the color of the glaze. And then we'll go in with some sweet chili sauce. You can use homemade sweet chili sauce. I do have a recipe for that. Or you could use your favorite brand to make it really quick and convenient for you. Now I'm going to go in with some fancy molasses, one of my favorite ingredients because it adds some darkness without the bitterness that comes with browning and the salt that comes with soy sauce. Then the chicken, guys. I'm using a whole chicken. You could use some Cornish hens if you want to, or you could even use leg quarters. But I'm doing the whole chicken. I'm going to spatchcock the chicken. So that means just taking out the backbone, and then this just helps to flatten the chicken, helps it to cook even more evenly instead of having the breast drying out and then the thighs overdone. And this just helps with even cooking. If you don't want to do it, that's fine, but I definitely advise it. It just makes the chicken cook evenly. So we just cut on either side and then take out the bone. All right, and that will just help to flatten the chicken once we lay it out. Once you take that out, you can clean it and season it as well, or you could just leave it in the freezer for when you're doing a soup or even a broth or a stock. Okay, so open that up. Of course, we need to clean that of the excess, blood and fat and everything, and rinse it with some lemon juice and cold water, or you could use vinegar with the water. Then what we're going to do is slit right in the center here. So just take a sharp knife and slit that, not all the way through, just a little bit, just to open up the breast a little bit more so the chicken lays flat. Sometimes I'll lift out the breastbone, sometimes I don't. So this is how it will look. It will lay much flatter. And what you can do with the wings is you can leave them as is, or you can tuck them behind the chicken. This just helps to prevent the tips from burning really fast. So let's season the chicken. I have onion powder and garlic powder here. And I'm going to go in with some sweet paprika. This is going to give some color, of course, and some flavor. I add salt, but not too much. And then I go in with some ginger powder as well. I do add some black pepper. You could do freshly ground pepper if you prefer, and just stir everything together. We're going to rub this into the chicken after we brush on some olive oil and prick the chicken flesh with a sharp knife, just to get everything to soak into the flesh a little better. I'm going to be using just half of the seasoning because we do want to add some seasoning when we flip the chicken over. So we'll be adding half of the dry seasoning, leave some for later, and then we're also gonna season with that marinade that we made with that sweet chili sauce. Once we rub in the dry seasoning, we're going to go in with some of that sweet chili marinade. I want you to use just 1/4 of that marinade on the chicken. So we're going to use 1/4 of the marinade all over the chicken, but the other 3/4 of it, we're going to use that to glaze the chicken while it bakes. So just take out 1/4 of it and use it on the chicken. Leave the rest for glazing the chicken later. So we flip the chicken over, repeat the steps, rub in the seasoning, and then go in with the marinade. Remember to leave 3/4 of that marinade for when we're glazing the chicken. So once we've done all the steps, that's doing the dry seasoning and the sweet chili marinade, rub it into all those crevices, try to get under the skin if you can. Once we do that, you can marinate overnight or for 24 hours if you have the time, okay? So the next day, guys, I'm going to be putting this in my greased cast iron pan. You could use a roasting pan if you prefer, or a baking tray. I just greased this. It's going in the oven 400 degrees Fahrenheit for 25 minutes. That's it. 25 minutes, then we'll take it out after. While the chicken is in the oven, place the rest of that marinade that we saved over in a pan and let it simmer over medium heat, and also add 1/2 cup of chili sauce to this. So this is leftover marinade along with some sweet chili sauce, and just let it heat up, okay? You're not cooking this for a long time. Just let it simmer for about a minute or two, and then you can remove it from the heat. Now, once the chicken comes out of the oven, we are going to be brushing on some glaze, changing the temperature to 350, and baking this for about 45 to 55 minutes. Keep brushing on your glaze every 10 to 15 minutes to build up that nice outer look, really glossy and nice. Every time you remove the chicken from the oven, you'll notice the changes, that beautiful gloss, and the glaze is building up its color. There might be a little char going on because of the sugar involved, but that's just gonna be a lot of flavor. Kind of reminds me of that crusty char that you get when you do your jerk chicken, but it's flavorful. So this is the end product, guys. Look at that. It is beautiful. Let me tell you, the glaze is just amazing, and the flesh of the chicken was so juicy and tender. So nice. You're gonna love this, guys. Sometimes what I do, guys, is I have the leg quarters and the wings with my dinner, and then the chicken breasts, I might do salads or some chicken wraps with those, but this is just so delicious. Enjoy. I know you're gonna love it. I'm already telling you to enjoy because it is just delicious. And come back and tell me what you think about the recipe. See you next time.